You want to get into this movie real quick?
Yeah,
Definitely.
let's talk about this movie.
This movie.
The Linux Movie Cast.
So I think I added this to the list. Radioactive Dreams from 1985, the Albert Pune movie, who also directed Nemesis that we saw last time. And I think this was a better movie though. At least I enjoyed it more because it's really set in my wheelhouse. It's a quick synopsis. It says on IMDb, after a nuclear war, Philip Hammer and Marlo Chandler have spent 15 years on their own in a bunker stuffed with junk from the 40s and old detective novels. Now 19 years old, they leave their shelter to find a world full of mutants, freaks, and cannibals. They become famous detectives in the struggle for the two keys that could fire the last nuclear weapon. And it's got John Stockwell and Michael Dudikoff in it, pretty famous character actors. That's basically the plot. Also, if you played the Fallout games, it's pretty similar. They kind of live their lives in a vault, and then they eventually escape the vault into the wasteland full of mutants and cannibals, and some of the characters are pretty colorful. I like a lot of the costumes, especially the mutants, the orange-haired girls that they get attacked by when they first leave the vault are pretty cool. The soundtrack is great. I wanted to talk about that real quick. It is. You said it's on YouTube, right? The soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Because I like this band, and it's very, very 80s. Too Sad, and the next, I believe, is the name of the main artist. It's got several artists on here, but that's Too Sad is the main singer, and plus she's in a movie in a scene. She's singing at a concert, underground concert. Has the whole post-apocalyptic outfit on. She's pretty sexy. But yeah, so it's basically kind of a chase scene. The whole movie of these guys are running from mutants, running from cannibals, running from greaser gangs. And everybody wants these keys they have because they will activate the last nuclear weapon, and whoever had these keys will basically be king of the world because they hold the ultimate power. And the world is basically a wasteland from the nuclear war. I think it said April of 2001 is when this takes place. So they had been there since age of 6. Yeah, so for what, 14 years, 13 years, something like that. It's got a lot of kind of like it has George Kennedy in it too. He plays Pop, one of their dads. He's who kind of stuffed him into the fallout shelter. But their names are taken from a famous film noir authors. Philip Marlowe and Raymond Chandler. If you've ever read the Mike Hammer books that Mickey Spillane wrote, or the Raymond Chandler books that, oh no, their names are, is it Marlowe, Hammer, and what are their names?
I just remember Philip and Marlowe.
Yeah, their name Philip Chandler and Marlowe Hammer. Okay. So that's after Mike Hammer from the Mickey Spillane books, and Philip Marlowe from the Raymond Chandler books, which were real popular in the 30s and 40s, film noir detectives. And so they modeled themselves after these detectives. They wear their 40s clothes and they talk like the old detectives did, except they're in the wasteland in the 2000s, supposedly the 2000s. But that's kind of an outline of stuff. What did you guys think?
Honestly, there was some severe cheese factor going on with this
Oh,
movie.
definitely.
Don't get me wrong, and the logical, basically logic didn't come into play when they were making this movie. But I loved this movie. It was really good, and the best part about it was, you had these two kids that had been basically locked up in a bunker their entire life, and so they're completely naive,
Very
and
innocent.
very innocent, and they go out there in the real world and they really kind of act like how you would expect people that naive to act.
And they're running into cannibals and mutants and gangs,
Right.
and they're
it's
still
the-
acting like
it's
kids,
the
basically.
it's the first time these teenagers have seen women, and so they're going a little over the top.
Yeah, they run into the first woman who robs them,
Steals their gun, yeah.
steals their gun, and leaves that key with them, though. One of the nuclear keys.
Right.
There's one part where they run into the disco mutants. These little kids was
Little
probably
kids.
one of my favorite parts of the movie. They pull over on the side of the road because there's these little kids wearing disco outfits with a big jam box. They say their van's broken down, and they go to help them, and they're just cussing up a storm. F this, F that. These kids are, and they pull out
so many
guns.
F-bombs from those kids.
Yeah, I thought, man, what do their parents think of these kids that were hired for this movie to be talking like that? But it's pretty funny. Yeah, there's a lot of characters like that are great, and there's even a giant a mutant radioactive monster in there that comes out of this big hole, and it's pretty spooky
Eats the
looking.
kids.
Yeah, eats the disco mutant kids. It's definitely a product of its time, but it checks all the boxes for me as far as what I like in movies. And the cheese factor and the music, and I love the post-apocalyptic kind of dystopian fantasies and the sci-fi and all that stuff. The outfits, the music.
I liked the entire movie. I liked the music, but the music basically turned it into like a giant music video.
Definitely, yeah.
'Cause
And
the
there was
music
even a
was-
musical number at the very end, right?
Oh god,
Oh, yeah.
the ending!
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot about the ending.
Very corny.
What the hell was going on with that ending?
It turned into a Bollywood movie at the
So
end.
everybody else that was chasing them died for the most part, and they leave, and everybody's just staring at them,
Mhm.
and they just start dancing, 50s style dancing away. Nobody does anything. There's a spotlight on them. They're singing and dancing.
Yeah, where'd that spotlight come from?
That's how they end it.
It's very ludicrous. Did you
I
like
love I like the idea. I like the story. I like the storyline. It was a very cheesy storyline, but I like the storyline. I thought it was interesting. Take somebody like doesn't know anything about anything, put them in these 50s style outfits, and make them act like they're from the 50s when they were born somewhere in like the 80s, and stick them in this post-apocalyptic world and see what happens.
At least the plot makes
fun
sense,
idea. What's that?
At least you could follow the plot, and it made sense.
No, absolutely.
Unlike some of the movies we've watched.
Right? Yeah, it was. This movie, we were right. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
No, what really kind of annoyed me was the lizard guys.
The lizard guy. Oh,
The lizard
towards the end.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So was that some kind of doomsday cult that Pops was the head of or something? Or
I don't think it was a
They were
doomsday call. They were just scam artists and thieves, and they said,
Right.
we're not really your dads. We just kidnapped you.
yeah,
Did they say that?
Yes.
Okay, I know that was basically implied.
I say it doesn't really matter.
No, they
Just live your
actually said
lives.
it.
Right. They didn't. Did they straight out say it?
Yes, they actually
Okay.
actively said it.
All right. I don't remember. Okay.
Like right when they took off the masks and those guys were looking all sheepish, they said, "We're not your pops. We kidnapped you."
No, that shootout at the end was pretty freaking awesome with those
Oh, yeah.
street sweeper type shotguns with the multiple barrels and stuff, and they were just blowing everybody away.
And
George Kennedy.
Philip and Marlo, you know, constantly grabbing guns off people and then not having guns.
Right.
But there was a very dumb moment
Only
at
one.
the end when the blonde that had gotten the key from them towards the end, she just basically put down her weapon and dared them to shoot her. You don't have the guts. Huh?
She didn't put down her weapon.
Yeah,
She had
it
the
on her.
weapon.
But she
The reason
put
why
it
they
on her
shot him.
side.
The reason why they shot her was because of the fact that she just decided she was going to try to pull the trigger on them.
But I'm saying before that, when she just trusted that they wouldn't shoot her, and said you don't have the guts, and was just walking around with her gun, down by her side, and they could have blown her away at any time. And then at the very end, she turned around and shot it. I thought she hit them, but she didn't. She shot at them, and then they blew her away. Right. And that's when they became men, real men. Now, would you have allowed in the beginning, would you have allowed that girl to handcuff you on a table and take off all your clothes that you didn't even know her, and you're in this weird club?
Like I said, I know. He's a kid, and
it was the naivety,
right? And he did start, freaking out as soon as she put the handcuff on him. But by then, it was a little bit too late. And then, the cannibals came in.
Right.
This isn't available anywhere except. I downloaded the copy from the DVD, and then what they had on YouTube, and I think there's a Japanese laser disc, but you can't buy it, and it's not streaming anywhere.
Right.
This is another one of those examples, and I think it's pretty much a cult classic from what I understand. But it checks all the boxes for me. It's got everything I love. It had some funny moments. It's it's the scenes and the costumes I really liked, and the music, the gunplay, all the stuff is cool.
The exploding trailer.
Oh yes, the exploding empty trailer that they then said was their fuel supply.
I didn't see any fuel either on it.
There was nothing on there.
It was a completely
But they kept on going,
"Oh
man, you just blew up our fuel supply," which explains why this trailer exploded.
But did you see any cans of gas or anything?
There wasn't anything.
There was nothing on that.
There was nothing. It was an empty trailer. I sat there going, why are they hauling around an empty trailer? Are they going to pick something up and bring it back?
Yeah, I kind of figured that they had gotten it to just pick up whatever they picked up while they were traveling and throw it on there because they were planning on being rich.
Right, rich and famous. You're right. It was a lot of fun though. A lot better than a lot of the other movies we've watched.
Where's the movie list?
Lovecraft, did you watch this? Lovecraft's still here.
Is he in the mumble?
He's in mumble.
He's ignoring us.
Is this trailer you guys are talking about the wooden one, the slatted wooden trailer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
geez. I'm just watching parts of it. I'm like, yeah, there is nothing in there.
Nothing in there.
It's completely empty. But it catches fire and then explodes.
But that was their extra gas.
That was their extra gas. Didn't you see it?
That's funny.
Phantom gas go boom.
Yeah.
How many thumbs up are we giving this? I give it
a definite thumbs up from me.
Lovecraft, if you're there, following the spirit of Lovecraft.
How about Morton C? You still around?
Gone too.
Oh, I see his empty chair.
Yeah. He might be talking to his girlfriend.
Oh, did he probably be there?
Well, I guess it'll just be us three then. Maybe they can add their thumbs later.